Europe, the land of castles, art, freedom, and the strangest laws you could ever imagine. Yes, even in the modern world, across the continent that gave us philosophy, democracy, and high culture, there are rules so bizarre they'll make you question reality. From banning Winnie the Pooh to outlawing chewing gum, these are the weirdest laws in Europe that still exist today. Let's dive into the strangest legal curiosities that still shape daily life across Europe and discover how these ancient and modern rules came to be. Law 1. It's illegal to name your pig Napoleon in France. Let's start in France, the country of wine, romance, and weird respect for dead emperors. According to an old French law, you cannot name a pig Napoleon. Why? Because it's considered an insult to the former emperor himself, Napoleon Bonaparte. The law dates back to the 19th century when Napoleon's legend was still untouchable. It was meant to protect his dignity from mockery, especially since pigs were considered dirty animals. While the rule isn't exactly enforced today, it's technically still on the books. So if you ever move to rural France and decide to name your pig Napoleon, you could be making history or getting fined for royal disrespect. Law number 2. Chewing gum is banned in Singapore. But wait, that's in Europe too? Actually, this one's a twist. While Singapore is famous for its chewing gum ban, the British royal grounds have similar restrictions. Inside Buckingham Palace and several other royal estates, chewing gum is forbidden. The reason? To protect carpets, paintings, and royal property from damage. And here's where it gets weirder. Some European royal museums also prohibit chewing gum because of tourists sticking it under antique furniture. So yes, technically chewing gum is banned in parts of Europe too. The Queen wouldn't want you ruining a 500-year-old chair. Law number 3. In Denmark, you can't start your car if someone is under it. This one sounds obvious, but it's a real law. Danish traffic regulations state that before starting your car, you must check that no one is underneath it. This came from an old safety measure when mechanics or children could be near vehicles in rural areas. The funny part? If a police officer ever catches you turning on your car without checking under it, you can technically get fined. It's one of those rare cases where common sense became a national law, just in case someone needed the reminder. Law number 4. It's illegal to die in the Houses of Parliament, United Kingdom. Yes, you heard that right. Dying inside the Houses of Parliament is illegal. The law exists because anyone who dies inside this royal palace is technically entitled to a state funeral, since the palace is considered royal property. So, in a strange twist, if you ever feel sick while visiting Parliament, it's safer to step outside before you pass out. Otherwise, you might cause a constitutional crisis. It's one of the UK's most bizarre, yet iconic laws that still hasn't been officially repealed. Law number 5. In Switzerland, you can't own just one guinea pig. Switzerland takes animal welfare to another level. According to Swiss law, guinea pigs are considered social animals, and it's illegal to own only one because it would suffer from loneliness. So if you want a guinea pig, you must buy at least 2. In fact, there are even guinea pig dating agencies in Switzerland, places that match single guinea pigs with companions. No joke. It's one of those weird laws that's actually very sweet, protecting animal emotions with legal precision. Law number 6. In Italy, it's illegal not to smile in certain towns. In the small town of Milan, an old law dating back to the 19th century requires people to smile in public places, except during funerals or hospital visits. It was originally intended to promote good citizenship and positivity, but technically it's still in the municipal code. Imagine walking through Milan and getting fined for having a bad day. The law may not be enforced, but the idea lives on in the world's most cheerful city ordinance. Law number 7. In Germany, running out of fuel on the Autobahn is illegal. Germany's Autobahn is legendary for its high speeds, but if your car runs out of gas, you're in trouble. According to German traffic law, stopping on the Autobahn without a valid reason is prohibited. Running out of fuel is considered your fault because it's seen as preventable negligence. That means if your tank goes empty, you could face a fine or even lose your license. Moral of the story? In Germany, speed is fine, but planning ahead is mandatory. Law number 8. In Spain, it's illegal to build sandcastles on some beaches. Yes, sandcastles, those innocent childhood creations, are banned in certain coastal areas of Spain like Malaga and Benidorm. Why? Local councils claim they obstruct beach cleaning and disturb other tourists. You can actually be fined up to 150 euros for building one. And in some cases, even more if you're caught competing in unauthorized sandcastle contests. So if you're headed to Spain for a beach vacation, keep your creativity in check, or build your castle in the sand, mentally. Law number 9. In Portugal, it's illegal to pee in the ocean. Yes, it's a real law. According to Portuguese beach regulations, urinating in the sea is forbidden. No one knows how they would actually catch someone doing it, but technically, it's against the law. The reason behind it is public health and cleanliness. Still, it's one of those rules that makes you wonder how exactly they plan to enforce it. So next time you're swimming in the Atlantic, remember, Big Brother might be watching. Law number 10. In Greece, wearing high heels at ancient monuments is banned. If you're visiting the Acropolis in Athens, leave your stilettos at home. In 2009, Greece introduced a law banning high heels at ancient sites. The reason? They damage the stone structures and historic floors. It's part of a larger effort to protect the ruins, but it also means fashion takes a back seat to archaeology. So for your next trip to Greece, sneakers are not just comfortable, they're the law. Now let's look at some bonus laws that are too strange to ignore. Bonus number 1. It's illegal to flush the toilet after 10 p.m. in Switzerland. Yes, in some Swiss apartment buildings, flushing your toilet after 10 p.m. is considered noise pollution. It's part of the country's strict quiet hour regulations. Neighbors expect peace, and late-night plumbing is seen as disruptive. So if nature calls after bedtime, you might have to wait until morning. Bonus number 2. In France, you can marry a dead person. This might sound like a horror movie, but it's true. Under French civil law, a living person can marry someone who has died, if they can prove the marriage was planned before the death. The law came into effect after a tragic dam collapse in 1959 that killed many people, including a soldier engaged to his fiancée. She petitioned to marry him posthumously and won. The tradition continues in rare cases today. It's one of the most emotionally surreal laws in Europe. Bonus number 3. In Italy, feeding pigeons in Venice is illegal. Venice is known for its romantic canals, but also for its pigeon problem. For years, tourists fed thousands of pigeons in St. Mark's Square, causing massive damage to statues and buildings. In 2008, the city banned feeding pigeons altogether. The fine? Up to 700 euros. So, if you visit Venice, admire the birds, but keep your breadcrumbs to yourself. Bonus number 4. In Iceland, you must name your baby from an approved list. In Iceland, parents can't just name their baby anything they want. There's a government-approved list of first names that conform to Icelandic grammar and culture. If you pick a name not on the list, it must be approved by the naming committee. Yes, that's a real government office. So while Thor is fine, Apple or XEA12 definitely won't make it through. Bonus number 5. In Norway, you can't advertise to children under 12. Norway bans advertising directly to young kids. That means no toy commercials, no junk food ads, and no manipulative cartoons selling cereal. It's part of the country's strict child protection laws, and it's actually helped reduce obesity and materialism among kids. Weird? Maybe. But also kind of genius. From pigs named Napoleon to bans on high heels, Europe proves that even the most advanced societies have quirks that make you scratch your head, or laugh out loud. But behind every weird rule is a story. A moment in history, a cultural tradition, or a national obsession that left its mark on the law books. These bizarre laws are part of what makes Europe fascinating, a mix of logic, tradition, and sheer human creativity. So the next time you travel through Europe, remember, the law might not always make sense, but it sure makes a great story. And who knows? Maybe one day your own strange habit will become a law too. If you enjoyed this dive into Europe's weirdest rules, subscribe for more shocking world facts, hidden traditions, and crazy true stories from around the globe. This is Culture Map, uncovering the world's most unbelievable secrets, one country at a time.